Man, what a week. What a week. I want to share a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. I'm always tired. I don't really feel like making videos, but I have the time. I don't get donations like Umar Johnson. I don't get donations like Al Sharpton or Jesse Jackson or Farrakhan or Sonetta TV or whatever. Nobody gives me nothing, so I'm always tired. And by the time I rest up, it's time to go back and do whatever I need to do again. But it's cool. I don't mind coming here and speaking with us. But I wish that I could do this for a living. Because if I could do this for a living, I can guarantee you, with having less than what some of these are getting, you will begin to see in no time the change that you claim that you want to see. I'm not going to give you talk. I'm going to give you pure substance. And if I can't give you pure substance, then I will find somebody who can do that for us. But it will get done. I am not going to try to buy a Mercedes-Benz, a Jaguar, fancy house, and whatever. If I drive a Mercedes-Benz, all of us can drive Mercedes-Benz. If I live in a big house, then all of us should be living in a big house. You want for your brother what you want for yourself. But like I said, this has been it's been a rough week. So glad to lay down and get a little real sleep. Now, I'm very sure that just the title of this video brings curiosity. And I want to explain that. I'm not going to give you the full details, because to give full details, a lot of times, it gives trolls ammunition to write silly, corny stuff. But I want to talk about two incidents that I experienced this week. My interaction with other soul brothers. Excuse me. I was in a situation and I needed to get something done. And this brother said, hey, you know, I really shouldn't be, you know, you're late or whatever. I can't, you know, I shouldn't let you do such and such. But it was my only opportunity. Well, not really my only opportunity. I wanted to go ahead and, you know how it is, you want to go ahead and get things done. What you talking about? What is it that, don't worry about it. I'm just telling you this story. And I'm like, wow, man, I don't want to keep waiting. And so the soul brother said, look, I'm going to go ahead and let you do whatever. And he made my day. But what really made my day is that he said, all right, brother, I'm going to allow you to do such and such. He said, brother. He did not say, look, fella, look, dude. He was a person of soul, a black man, talking to another person of soul. And he made reference to me and called me his brother. Oh, and then the incident of incidents. I'm not going to tell you exactly what happened, but my next interaction with a soul brother, the brother just so happened to be a state trooper. And he accused me of threatening his life. And I must be honest. I am guilty as charged. What did you do, man? You threatened a police officer. What did you do? It makes no difference what I did. I'm not going to tell you what happened. He was very, very angry. I will tell you that. And later on, after the incident, I saw the brother on TV talking about traffic control and the eclipse that's getting ready to happen this week. I'm like, I'm looking at TV. I'm like, that's the brother that I had a interaction with. I did threaten him. There's no doubt about that. I confess, I admit, I did. But I explained to him that was not the intent. And we talked, and then this soul brother who is part of law enforcement, he was very, very angry. Oh man, he was very upset. But after he seen that I really didn't mean no harm, he told me, look, brother, I'm going to let you slide this time. Be more careful next time. So what am I trying to say in all this? The first incident I had with a soul brother, a black man, he called me brother. The second incident where I was in a situation where I did threaten this police officer's life, but in the end, he said, look, brother. He did not say, look, fella, look, guy, look, sir. He said, look, brother. Both incidents, these men called me. They saw another black man. They said, they gave another brother mercy. Y'all don't think that way. As soon as somebody disrespect you, nigga, soon as somebody don't do what you think they should do, you nigga, you whore, hair hat hooligan, and all these different things, you don't have no mercy. You don't have no empathy towards other dark-skinned people. But here are brothers out in the community, out in the street, who have more love for us than y'all chumps on social media. Arrogant. Negro trash, that's what you are. These people, our brothers and sisters in the streets, they really are looking for brother and sisterhood. This is an example that they are. They're looking for brothers. They're looking for sisters. They're looking, hoping for us to come together as a people. But your damn nigga leadership not interested. Umar Johnson wants all his people to look to Umar Johnson. Farrakhan wants all his people to look for Farrakhan. And Sadie wants all the people to look up to him. They are not interested in the unification of all of us in this situation. They're not interested, but that is what the people want. That's what they are ready. So somebody got to stand up and fill that void, unite the people, and leave these pieces of trash in the garbage where they belong. They don't want to be converted to your damn religion. They just want brother and sisterhood. I don't give a damn if you're a lesbian. I don't give a damn if you're gay. I don't care. I don't care nothing about all that stuff. You want to be free of an oppressor. My brothers came to my aid. My brothers showed me mercy, empathy. You don't see that on social media, on YouTube. Bunch of clowns. Fakes. And you talk about the masses of the people so in bad shape. The people on the streets are not as in bad shape as you believe and think they are. You have these clowns. You have these people pretending to be leaders that's guiding the leaders. Because see, those of us on social media, those of you who claim to be conscious, who claim to be, you are actually the leadership. But you following some fool that's getting ready to go over a cliff. And you don't want to accept the responsibility. You want to be in a position to blame. Well, it's Umar Johnson's fault. Or it's Sarah Seti's fault. You and I are just as smart as Minister Farrakhan. We just as smart as Sarah Seti, Sonetta, all those guys on Sonetta TV, Brother Polite, and whoever, Pharaoh. You are just as smart. You've read just as many books. You know just as much stuff as they do. But you refuse to be a leader unto yourself and accept responsibility. You want to put all the burden on somebody else. Our people are ready for the change. If you do what is right, it makes no difference what Jesse Lee Peterson say. It makes no difference what Charles Barkley say. It makes no difference what Raven Simone said. It makes no difference about what the people y'all call coons say. It makes no difference about that. If you do what is appropriate and what is necessary. Matter of fact, even they will submit and bow down to what is right. But you're not right. Why should these people come and listen and follow you? You follow a fool and you want them to follow you with the fool over the cliff. It's not going to happen. Our people not stupid like that. But they want to be brothers and sisters. My brother gave me mercy. My brothers showed me empathy. There are those of you who say, I don't say nothing good about black. I'm saying something good about soul brothers right now. They show me empathy, mercy. They show me kindness. They called me brother. Just the fact they saw me as a brother made my whole week. I was tired, but I'm a happy camper because my brothers saw me as being a brother. Even the brother who, police officer, and I did, well, hey man, what did you do? Tell us. I'm not going to say. Maybe later, to the people who really support this ministry, I would tell. I mean, you getting free information. I mean, how much do you really expect? I mean, for real. I mean, it costs me almost $100 to be on the internet. $100 a month to be on the internet. You're not even helping with the internet bill. Some brother was telling me, I need a new computer. I need to make better videos. He has never sent me a computer or nothing. You want these things, but you don't want to see, if you really like something, you put your money where your mouth is. I put my money with Farrakhan when I was with Farrakhan. I don't mind putting my money where my mouth is. You might not believe this. I'm not a stupid person. I've learned a whole lot. Been around a little while. If you gave me the opportunity, get the job done. But you don't want to do that. Keep following these brothers that give you nothing. Not even mercy. Not even kindness. about this thing we call oral sex, anal sex, and bestiality. So for this video, for those who have children, and you know, actually, children probably know more than a lot of stuff than I do. But anyway, parental discretion is advised. But I would think because of so much that these children know nowadays, talking about this topic, they probably already know this and more. But what they don't know is that what you call oral sex, what you call anal sex, is not sex at all. It is what we call sodomy. Sodomy has its origins in the labeling or the description. It comes from out of religious teachings, whereas in the Bible, Sodom, the city of Sodom, and Gomorrah, both of them were put on target by God to be destroyed because men was laying with men and women were laying with women. Thus, no matter what you hear out of people who claim they believe the Bible talk about how God is forgiving, clearly, if you read the scriptures, God was very, very angry at men laying with men and women laying with women, so he decided to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, I don't think that's really justice because, as far as I'm concerned, sin is sin. If you're going to destroy the homosexuals, you need to destroy those who lie, those who slander, those fornicators, adulterers, those who steal, those who make war, and all these other sins. Greedy, they need to be destroyed also. But you know, going back, I think God did do that. He did flood the world, right, and try to start all over, and got the same thing. And when it rebuilt, it came back. It was worse. Anyway, that's a different subject. Anyway, here we go about this. Now, if you look up what sodomy is, it would tell you sodomy is oral and anal sex and bestiality. Now, this is the kicker. This is how they trick you. They trick you into accepting this type of nasty, disgusting behavior, and that's what it is. Filthy, vulgar, nasty behavior, because they put sex on the end. Anal sex, oral sex. There is only one sex, people, and that is the sexual organs, the penis and the vagina. When you intercourse, sexual intercourse, you cannot intercourse with the penis in your mouth. You cannot intercourse with your tongue in somebody's boo-boo. No. That ain't how it works. No, that's sodomy. Let me tell you something. When people say, suck my penis, they're not trying to love you. They're not trying to, that's not a term of endearment, people. When people say that, it's a sign of domination. Suck my penis. When a man can get another man to suck his penis, that's a sign of subjugation, domination of a stronger man over an inferior man. You see this also in nature, like I was watching these wolves. The alpha male, the lower males would lick the penis of the alpha male because it was a sign of domination. In human terms, when you tell people to suck my penis or whatever, or lick my, kiss my ass and all this other stuff, it's a sign of domination. It's a sign of humiliation, because this is where your feces and your urine, this is where your filth come from. If you can get a man or woman to lick that and suck on that, see, that shows that's domination, humiliation. And when men do this with women, that's what it is. Women believe, oh, it's some type of pleasure. No, it's a sign that you're dominated by a superior gender. That you can actually lick and fondle a place where this person released his feces, the filth of his body. When we say, or somebody is accused of a crime on a child, and they say that child was sodomized, what do you think that is? Some dominant person made that child suck their penis or butt or whatever, or they used the child for anal penetration or whatever of that. That's sodomy, people. Sodomy. It is not sex. Sodomy is not sex, period. There's only one sex. And I can say this over and over again. And see, the thing about this is you like this. What has happened is you have an unnatural, disgusting act, and it is. You cannot find this in nature, and I know that y'all gonna tell me about dolphins and some other animals. That's a lie. All of it is a fabricated lie. I have studied. I don't have a doctor's degree or a PhD in the study of animal behavior, but I am an old farm boy. I was used to watching animals from a very small child, from the ants to the pigs to the deer. I watch animals all the time, watch animal shows on TV. That's a lie. It's a lie. They fabricate these lies, put this lie on the animals, trying to take certain behaviors to make it look like it's gay or it's not. This is unnatural behavior. And what has happened is that you have a group of people, and I am not homophobic, and I do not hate homosexuals or none of that stuff, but they want their behaviors to be accepted. So you see on TV, they are putting gay characters in everywhere, and they are teaching. They taught this in school because that's what a homosexual gay person cannot have sex. What they do is sodomy. It's called sodomy, people. And I don't know why so-called straight people are getting so upset over about homosexuals, because most of y'all so-called straight people, you're doing the same thing. You are in your bedroom, in your private, or I don't know what you're doing in your bedroom. Y'all so happy and you feel so good about your sodomy that you come out in the public and women tell people, yeah, I suck my man's thing and I lick this booty, and y'all actually proud of this stuff, and you come out in the public and you tell people about what you're doing. Then y'all meet somebody like me who tell you that you're nasty and you're disgusting, you're despicable, you're vulgar, trifling, you're just nasty. That's nasty. It's just disgusting. You want to tell people that you find pleasure in messing around, playing with urine and feces. Let me tell y'all something too. I was listening or reading, I was reading an article about a woman's orgasm. And I know I'm messing up y'all whole sexual parade because y'all nothing but slaves, and the only thing your slave master left you is to play with your penis and your vagina. I know. And you work hard every day. Give me some kind of pleasure, because if you're not playing with your penis and your vagina, then you turn to drinking alcohol, getting high, and you turn to drugs, because you're nothing but a slave. You have nothing else in your life. So that's why you turn to even rich folks. You sucking penis, licking vaginas, eating doo-doo, drinking pee-pee, turning up the old bottle, stuff like that, turn up the getting high. Y'all all doing the same thing. Rich slaves, post-slaves, middle-class slaves. You're all slaves. That's why you act and behave. So you don't know the meaning of life. You have no idea of what real life is. So you turn to all these things trying to get high. And religion don't help you, because religion it doesn't have the power to connect you to a higher power. Only talk about and serving. And that's what you're doing right now. You're already serving a God. Your slave masters, when you go to work, or if you're rich, your slave master is the almighty dollar, and things of that nature, you are already a slave. But let me go back to this woman's orgasm thing. Now, a woman does not have a prostate gland. She cannot ejaculate like a male. But a lot of women talk about, oh, he making me do this and what orgasm and blah, blah, blah. There's a reason. There's a reason why women don't orgasm. There's a reason for that. Because you're not supposed to. The only thing your vagina is supposed to do is lubricate. When you get all this other excess liquid and you thinking that you orgasm, this is what is actually happening. You taking a piss. You pee-peeing on yourself. You're urinating. And see, when urine is fresh and you're hydrated, urine it don't smell bad. It goes along with the rest of this nastiness that's going on. You know, actually on the real, the whole sex thing really is sort of, when you look at it, it's sort of disgusting. There are people who don't want nothing to do with the sex thing because it's actually disgusting to them. And really, when you look at it, it ain't all, y'all talk about seeking all this pleasure and all this love. I don't see it. My brain functioning has always been on a higher level. I don't see it. I mean, it's good to take a feel and do a little, it ain't all that what it's cracked up to be. But you're urinating, lady. You thinking you're having this great orgasm. You're urinating on yourself. And sometimes you find that in men also. Yes, men do it also. Sometimes you think the male is ejaculating and he's taking a whiz. I mean, come on. I mean, that's it. But sodomy, soul brothers and sisters, parental discretion is advised. We shouldn't even need it as vulgar and nasty and profane as many of you are, because I'm pretty sure some people will not even try to be intelligent. They're gonna write some nasty foul crap. So why should there be parental discretion is advised and your children are exposed 24 hours a day to people with this type of mindset, vulgar and nasty? They're disgusting. And they're going to teach your babies and show your children that this lifestyle, that sodomy, is a good thing. Drinking pee-pee and eating doo-doo out of somebody's boo-boo is a good... Somebody told me, you're trying to shame people. How can I shame you? If you feel good about it, how can I shame you? The reason why you feel shame is because you should feel shame, because that's exactly what you're doing. And you talk about drinking pee-pee and eating doo-doo out of the boo-boo. You said that's a good thing. I'm done, y'all. I just felt like being cool today for these few minutes, so let me be cool. All right. I only have like 15 minutes, so on this Vizzy, let us get busy. I have a lot of ground to cover, and 13 minutes I should be able to say what I need to say. The topic that I've chosen is there are those who claim they have a high sex drive. You have people who have low sex drives, and you have people that have high sex drives. So if you have a high sex drive, it's not good that you marry somebody with a low sex drive. So what type of sex drive should the human being have? Oh man. Just like soul brother AdMinister Malcolm X said, we have been bamboozled, we have been tricked, we have been made freaks of nature. We have been made abnormal, unnatural. And it looks like it's normal because this is all we know. We was born in a toilet. So when we see a clean toilet, we look at a clean toilet and like, what's up with that? Ain't no turds floating around. Ain't no urine. You're not used to nothing clean. We have been living in a melting pot of filth, decadence, vulgarity ever since we was born. This is all that we know. So if somebody present us something that is clean, like the preachers and the pastors is supposed to present to us, righteous, clean behavior and living, we look at it as strange. But I concur with the preacher, I concur with the pastor when they teach and they try to get us out of the lust of the flesh, the cravings of the flesh. However, it is sad that our flesh has more power than our brain. Even the pastor and the preacher has fallen victim to the lust of the flesh. They chase the women in the congregation and they lust for material things, the big jets and the big cars and the houses and the celebrity and the fame, everything of this world that a Jesus Christ would reject. In fact, as you know, according to religious texts, the devil offered the world to Jesus and he rejected that offer. But you, on the other hand, have decided, I want a little bit of this. I want a little bit of that. Jesus will forgive me. Right? Right. So let's talk about this high sex drive and this low sex drive. Our behavior, if we want to seek something better in our life for the future of generations, regardless of race, this behavior that we are now exhibiting as human beings, which is below what a human being should be, it is far from the practice of your potential, but it is all that we know, and the reason why we are acting and behaving this way is the reason I'm about to tell you right now. In nature, now listen carefully. In nature, you have animals on the low food chain, and you have animals that's on the high food chain. In most cases, animals that are on the lower end of the spectrum, they have a high sex drive. They have a high sex drive because they are, chances are, will fall more victim to predation. They are on the menu of somebody on the higher end of the food chain. So in order for them not to go extinct, they must reproduce at a high level, so they have a high sex drive. However, as you go up the chain to a higher level, you notice the animals don't have that high sex drive because there's less of a possibility that something is going to eat them. So when you look at whales, when you look at even a giraffe, elephants, something that is on a higher end of the food chain, you don't see the high sex drive. So you have the human being, So you have the human being which is on the top, the very top of the food chain. How in the heck can you have a high sex drive? Explain this to me. The one who is on the top of the food chain should have the lowest sex drive of them all. So why do you have a high sex drive? Well, I will tell you why you have a high sex drive. And it is not because you are a victim of predation. You are not a rabbit. You are not a mouse. You are not a rat. You're not a chicken. You're not any of these animals that's on the lower end of the food chain. But the problem or the reason why you have a high sex drive, if you are not on the low end of the food chain, then the reason why the human being, which should be at the top of the food chain with a low sex drive, the reason why you have a high sex drive is because you have become a slave. And a slave lives to benefit somebody else. You and I have become domesticated. And when we talk about slavery, we might talk about physical bondage, but you are slave to a job, making a living. There are so many things that you have become a slave to shopping. How can you become a sex addict? I can understand becoming a drug addict or an alcoholic, but a sex addict, something is wrong. Something is going on here. And it is because you have become, and we are, in fact, slaves. And a slave is on the lower end of the food chain. So no matter if you are Caucasian, no matter if you are a person of soul, you're Asian or Indian or whatever so-called race somebody has placed you in, you and I, we have become slaves. Because somebody has set up a system, somebody has set up a civilization where there is a certain group of persons who don't believe they need to work or do anything. They have the right to live a life of leisure. They don't have to do physical labor. The only thing they have to do is stay in control and control the slave population. Again, doesn't necessarily mean you have chains on your arms or whatever. Matter of fact, some of y'all slaves, y'all make $600 grand a year, $1 million a year, $2 million a year, $20 billion a year, but you still a damn slave. Because when it's all said and done, you had to work in order to get what you have, slave, while you have another group of persons that exist, never done no labor, done anything in their entire life. They only exist for slaves to take care of them. They feel as though they have the right to live a lifestyle of leisure, and we go for this. And we are willing slaves. The only slave that complain is the slave who can't get $1 million, who can't buy a fancy car and so forth. So you upset. You have a high sex drive because you're a damn slave. The late comedian, and speaking of comedians, I want to give respect to our fallen ancestor, soul brother Dick Gregory. May he rest in peace. It's a shame that only upon death can we get any peace in this life. But this ministry sends condolence and our sympathy to his family, to our brother, comedian and activist. Makes no difference if we agree or disagree. None of that. I respect anybody who tried to do anything. And again, going back to Richard Pryor, the comedian, said the same thing. Be happy for anything of positivity, any good that comes from another soul brother and sister. So Richard Pryor said, I'm not going to use the word nigger no more. He stopped. But in one of his comedy routines, Richard Pryor also said this. He brought this scenario, and back in the 70s and 60s, soul brothers used to go around. I don't know what it was. They don't do it no more. But when I was growing up, soul brothers used to run around, and I don't know what the reason was. They don't even know. They was holding their penis. They just be standing around and hold their penis. And Richard Pryor was saying in this skit, you know, when Andrew Young was in the White House, he was holding his penis, and Jimmy Carter's wife saw him do that, and he was like embarrassed. Like, excuse me, man. You know, he didn't pay attention. He was holding his penis. And she said, oh, that's all right. Bigger than a peanut. You know. But Richard Pryor was holding his penis in front of the judge in the court. And the judge said, why you guys hold your things? And Richard Pryor said, because you done took everything else. So you have a high sex drive, and the mind of the slave is directed towards your penis and your vagina and your high sex drive. That's all that you have left. That's all you have left to concentrate. You're a slave. So you can't concentrate on life because your life has been taken away from you. You have been domesticated and made a slave. So the only thing now is you concentrate on your thirst and your lust for the penis and the vagina and for the material things of this world. Because if you get a car, if you get a house, maybe it gives you a false sense of maybe belonging or entering the realm of those who have never been a slave. Makes you feel better about yourself. But again, $2, $20, $200, 200,000, 200 million, you a slave. Because you have done some kind of work. And there are those, and they say it's 10% that rule this planet. They have never done nothing because they have slaves like us. And out of frustration, we turn to our penis and our vagina. When we should be turning to our brain, when we should be turning to our brain to give us the answer to get the hell out of this situation, but you don't, so you become a sex addict and you lust for cars, penis and vagina and liquor and dope and all these different things. Because why? Why, Judge? Because that's all you got. That's all that's left. You've been stripped of your humanity. You've been stripped of your life. It is unnatural for the human being to have a high sex drive. You have been tricked. We have been bamboozled. We have been deceived. We have been made into freaks of nature. Don't you want to do something about it? Soul nation has nothing to do with me. It is not my name. So you cannot say, I ain't gonna have nothing to do with something you come up. I had nothing to do. These who are the descendants of slaves born in America prior to my birth was calling themselves soul brothers and sisters. The first time in our history, after being slaves, we created a label, a description that came from us. Black did not come from us. African did not come from us. Colored did not come from us. Negro did not come from us. Then we had African American, which came or was created by Jesse Jackson, but it had to be approved by those other than us. But soul had nobody's approval. It came from our loin, just like rap music, and what used to be called the blues, soul music, until we allowed others to steal our intellectual property. And that's what I want to talk about within these next few minutes. The theft of intellectual property. I have a problem because I feel as a male, it is my duty as a civilized person. I don't have to like you. You can wear weaves. You can smoke weed. You can be a prostitute. Whatever the sister is, she can be a queen or a king. Well, some of y'all, the lesbian lifestyle, I guess there's a king and a queen in that lifestyle. But I feel as though it's my duty to protect and defend our soul sisters. However, we must be wise, and I learned sort of the hard way a long time ago. You cannot get involved in all types of situations, because you would mess around and get killed, and the sister you was defending will be sleeping with the person you was defending her against. This is an issue police officers face all the time. They get a 911 call. A sister or some female call the police. My boyfriend, my husband jumping on me, beating on me. Then the police get there, and then she won't press charges. Matter of fact, she jumps on the police. Leave my man alone. He didn't do nothing that. So we have to be careful if we decide to get involved in some of these domestic disputes. I don't do that anymore. I learned the hard way. It could have cost me serious harm or my life. And then the sister, which was a relative, in fact, that I was trying to protect, went right back into the arms of the person she was screaming for. Oh, help me. He's doing this and what. That's on you. You have to be careful trying to be a hero. Sometimes it's not good trying to be a hero. Excuse me. What brings me to this topic, again, like I say, when a sister is in pain and she's suffering and stressed, I feel, being a male, I should come to her defense. I should try to help our females. So, as many of you know, I have a close associate, and we've been speaking and talking, and I did say that every Saturday or whatever we would have a Google Hangout, but because of our conflicting schedules, and it's very difficult to do. And the sister I'm talking about, of course, is our soul sister, Rashida Strober. And her tears, her hurt, and her pain makes me make this video, as I feel I have to say something. Because I can't stand to see a woman cry. I can't stand to see a woman hurt. I will tell you, even after the evil some women have done to me, if I wanted to be somebody like Tommy Sotomayor or some of y'all that hate black women, if I wanted to go that direction, I would be worse than Tommy Sotomayor. I would be worse than all of you. You may say, how can that be possible? If I went in that direction, you would see how it's possible. But my sister, Rashida, she is the original first dark-skinned activist, the creator of what is called darkism. If you see anything else like that, it is generic. And most times, it is the theft of her intellectual property, and she has proven that over and over again. I've seen the evidence. She made it very clear. When you compare her intellectual property with something else somebody else claimed they made up, you will see that it did not come from them. She is the first dark-skinned activist that started way before YouTube, 1998. So you ask these other people, where is their work around 1998, 1997, 1987? What did they do? Now, look, come on now. And all of us, we claim that we love black folks. How can you love black folks? How can you love the people of soul if we are stealing from each other? If we are plagiarizing, we don't want to give another person credit for something. Look, there are those who claim I plagiarized, that the Realist temple on earth really is like the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam would not tell you such a thing. However, I've made it very clear that's where I come from. I come from the Christian church, and you will hear me make references to Jesus and Moses and the Bible, pastors and preachers, because I come from the Christian church. I come from the Nation of Islam, so I would quote from the Quran. I would talk about Elijah Muhammad. I would talk about Prophet Muhammad. Because that's where I come from. And I give all my influence credit. Not on this video, but on many of my videos. At the end, you will see me give reference to my influences, which is Minister Farrakhan, the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. You will see him. There are those, if you don't like Farrakhan, I never said I didn't like Farrakhan. Never said that. Never said I hate Minister Farrakhan. I said he's incompetent. That has nothing to do with hatred. Has nothing to do with dislike. He's incompetent. That's just the bottom line on that. But he was my influence. In fact, if it was not for Minister Farrakhan, I probably would not be talking to you right now. And that's a fact. So I give credit to Minister Farrakhan and Elijah and Wallace Fard Muhammad and Pastor Ray Hagins. Matter of fact, if you don't really like the Realist Temple, blame Pastor Ray Hagins, because he's the one that really opened my mind up to see things. My soul brother, Pastor Hagins. Then I have Bruce Lee, which is an influence, and then later on Malcolm X and Dr. King and so forth. But I give credit where credit's due. I have no problem with that at all. It makes no difference whether I agree with what you're talking about or disagree. It makes no difference. If you influence me, if you inspire me, I will give you your credit. There are many things I've heard Minister Farrakhan say that I agree with him 1,000%. Have no problem with that. But you have those persons that have created something called what? Colorism. They present these different things. And there's nothing wrong with us talking about loving our dark skin. That's not the problem. The problem is, if we are inspired by Sister Rashida, the first original dark-skinned activist, just give the sister her credit. If she inspires you, don't steal her property. Just quote from, say, well, I got this from Sister Rashida and she's right and blah, blah, blah. Why do we sit around and want to hurt each other like that? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But at the same time, we putting on this persona. We paint ourselves in the public like we care. But last time I looked, Sister Rashida was a dark-skinned woman, and you said that you care about dark-skinned people, but you can steal her ideas and her intellectual property. So, I mean, come on now. I mean, we can do better than this. If anybody can show that I've plagiarized or stealing from the Nation of Islam, just show me. I will give you the credit. But this platform is totally opposite. It's nothing like the Nation of Islam at all. And what I use, I make it very clear. This is where this comes from. And I don't need to steal. I don't need to plagiarize because I have my own brain. My own brain is showing me, directing me what I need to do. And you can be influenced by Sister Rashida. You can be inspired. You don't have to steal her property. Open up your mind. Let your brain guide you to where you think that you need to go. In fact, you could become maybe greater than Sister Rashida. You can become greater than the Realist temple on earth. That's not the problem. Because I hope the bottom line is that you want a better condition, a better life for the people of soul. That's all. That's the bottom line. But there is no better life if we are robbing and stealing and lying and plagiarizing from one another. How are we making things better? How can you as a black man, how as you being a black woman, a soul brother and sister, how can you sleep at night knowing that you're stealing and lying and slandering and gossiping on other dark-skinned people that you claim that you love, and you telling a lie? Because if you love, you wouldn't treat and do a person you love like that. In fact, I don't even see you doing your enemy like that. But you're going to do the person that you claim you love like that? Come on. So with that being said, hopefully we can get our schedules together and with Soul Sister Rashida, and we can do this Google Hangout and be a hangout.